What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? For the past 2, 3 days, I have been so torn. Closure is like fucking overrated. I don't know who like makes this shit up. That um you have to have some type of closure when it's towards the ending of any chapter. What I did was I went and I went and contacted Mr. Jeter so that we could have some type of closure. Um, honestly, honestly speaking, the chain of events that happened during the time that he was with me was just, it was so much that I felt like I didn't need closure in a technical sense. However, being in my head about moving forward, trying to figure out what was best for me, how to begin to move forward. Because, I don't know if or when you guys ever had a breakup, but me, I was, hesitant to move forward, to begin to move forward. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe if I contact him, reach out to him, and we have an official closure, then it would be easier for myself and possibly for him to be able to move. Kind of, I think when I look back at it, I think what I was doing was in attempting to get closure, gain closure. I think that I was looking for some type of permission from myself. I think closure for me at that time, I realized I was giving myself permission to move forward. Right. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna close this chapter out now. In contacting him, in the beginning, it went okay. It got a little messy towards the end. Um, our line suddenly got disconnected, and I just honestly think it was divine intervention. Here's why: I didn't have no type of script. There was nothing that I can say. All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. Um, I've never. I don't think I've ever really had a closure of anything, honestly. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Excuse me. I didn't know what to do or what to say. Let me just see if that's my child. No. Okay. I didn't know what to do or what to say. So, I basically was, just said, listen, this phone call is about this. So, it went okay in the beginning, and then towards the end it started to get sloppy. So the phone disconnected. I feel like it was divine intervention. But let me tell you the gist of what I got. He is, upset. I was upset too. I think that's a natural, response because during a breakup, somebody gonna be upset. Nobody walks away not being upset. Um, but I believe that a large part of him being upset was the fact that I turned to social media to be able to express how I feel about our separation. Um, there's so much chapters, if you will, and I'm calling it chapters or maybe subdivisions is a better term. If I look low, it's because I'm sitting on a bench that's right by my bed. I don't sit on my bed with street clothes on, and I came in not too long ago, and I'm about to go back out in a little while. So, yeah. Um, so let me get my train of thought back. So, he was upset and uh, this is what I've learned about he and I. Um, I have come to terms with the fact that our season is just not now, and I became okay with that. Um, at this time, because my concern is me. I refocused all the resources that I was pouring into him. I turned around and I put it into me, and so I don't have the capacity to honestly really. That's my child. Excuse me 1 minute. I don't mean to be rude. Hold on. Yes, Pop.
Alright. So do you want this 12 by 18 right there, or you want that one?
It doesn't have to be fancy. Whatever you see that is on sale, whatever is the cheaper price is fine.
Right, but it's one that's lengthy and one that's wide. I'm saying one is more length, one is more wide. You want the
Go with the one that's a little more wide. How about that? Are there any other colors there? Any browns you see, or it's just black and whites?
this black and white?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Ask them. Just ask around real quick if they have any on sale. They may have some on sale. Lord Jesus. I know that store pop. They always have some type of sale. Okay. Did you? Okay. Okay. Get whatever if need be. I'll take it back because there's frames also on the other side that you could check too. That's not that expensive. My time is running, baby. I'm live. Let me go. Okay.
You alive? Alright, cool.
All right.
Alright,
All right.
alright, later.
My apologies for that. Um, because I've got me something else. I got me something else. Look at this. Look at this. I am love. And that's a black woman there. You see that? Yes. Yes. Um, it has taken me, I don't know, it's taken me a lot more to get to this level. And I think mainly because, and speaking to my sisters, they would tell me, don't get bitter, don't get bitter, don't become bitter. And that was really, really hard for me because I was very, very angry. And I'm not as angry as I was. I'm not as angry as I was, but it's taken a lot because it took me a while to try to find a balance in trying to recover from a breakup, um and still deal with the fact of who he is now, and still try to not be bitter because I look back and I've seen or felt that it was time wasted, so I had to dig deep for that, and I came up with some wonderful perspectives, excuse me, about those 13 years. But I don't have the capacity just right now to concern myself with how he feels because I've done that for a long, long, long time. I've done that for over a decade. Everything that I have done for our family, it was solely from my heart. Word is bond. Word is bond. Like, and I think the part of the disbelief that of who, this person that he had become. Now, I don't want to hear, you know, if you really love him. If you really love him, If you really love him, because there's always alternative. If you really love him, you would give him another chance. If you really loved him, you would understand the situations of his circumstance. If you really loved him, you would still be there for him. Because in hearing that now translates to me as a foreign language. It translates as put up with more shit that you don't deserve just so you can have somebody. Do what you got to do so that you can have a man. He's a man and men do men things, and that's just the part of who he is or who he become. And if you really love him, you would accept that. If you really love him, you're going to put up with whatever it is that he do, even if it means loving yourself less. That's what it translates to me. And I'm just not doing that anymore. I hadn't realized how much I was neglecting myself, how much I was holding myself back in his absence. I didn't, because at the time when you going through it, I had tunnel vision, and it was just maintain until he get home. Maintain until he get home. I felt to a degree like, okay, the king is not here. He left me the torch. I got to do what I got to do to make sure these kids is all right. But I learned a lot. And I grew the fuck up. I grew up. He feel away, and like he said to me, he feels that me turning to social media is immature, and that I'm looking for some type of validation. Everyone has their own opinion and their own concept of what it is that I'm doing. I really don't even have nothing to do with that. Whatever your opinion is of my situation, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But you must always remember that opinions are not fact. Right? They may be based off facts, but they're not facts. He's entitled to the way he feel, whatever it is that he feel. I'm not trying to take anything from him, regardless if I disagree with it or not. I'm not trying to take anything away from what that man feel. He can feel whatever it is that he want to feel, but he got to sit with himself and be real with a lot of shit. And one of the things I told him is that, I can forgive you, and I do forgive you, but I don't have to be with you to forgive you. I just want to reiterate the separation, because what I've been through in the 10 months that he was with me was traumatizing. Again, part of the trauma was my fault, though, because I had put him on a fucking pedestal. I put him on for a long time on a pedestal. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you, because I want to be exact. I put him on a pedestal because that was the motherfucking man that I was loving. And can't nobody tell me nothing about the man that I was loving. And because I know I ain't an average chick, to me, he wasn't no average nigga. And so I put him on a pedestal. I'm like, yo, he fucks with me. I fucks with him. There's nothing average or regular about this shit. Nah. And on top of that, we black. And on top of that, we got history. And, I just kept putting him higher and higher and higher. He didn't do the same for me. But it's okay. Now it's okay. I didn't know that when I was going through it with him. That's where the manipulation comes in at. He kept making decisions for me. He wasn't honest with me. I was always honest with him. He just maybe didn't accept, maybe some things he didn't accept, maybe some things he didn't want to hear. But you know what? You know how I came to do all of this on social media? You know how I came to do this? I came to do this because When we was going through them 10 months of shit, I could never speak my piece. Let me tell you how I was dealing with that shit. I was choosing to stay at work versus to come home and deal with shit. And you know, I did it was too stressful at the time. Whenever we argued, it was two ways that I would react. Either way caused a whole nother fucking scene I didn't want to do. So if I was silent and held everything in, if I was silent, that caused the upset in the house. That caused the upset with him. Let me say that, which then caused the house to be imbalanced. You know, he was upset. If I was silent and didn't say anything to him. Now I'm trying to make logic out of it. This is my mind state. I was trying to make logic out of it because I was saying, well, you know what? If I argue back, it's gonna get ugly. My mouth gonna get crazy. His and it's gonna lead to so you know what? I just ain't gonna say shit. He gonna go off. Excuse me. He gonna keep going off and saying whatever and doing whatever. And because I hear Boogie and he on the phone with his friends. I don't know if y'all hear him. He gonna be saying whatever. So you know what? I'm just not gonna say nothing. And I'm thinking I'm saying nothing to try to avoid additional conflict, but that wasn't it. Even when I got so frustrated of hearing him constantly, you know, put me down and say things, then I would turn around and then I would start going on, get cursing, arguing back. And then that would also, so I hope you understand that there was nothing that I could say or couldn't say or could do or couldn't do that would balance anything out or that would make anything better. Okay. My side was never heard. My side was never understood. If I managed to get something out, it wasn't understood. It was disrespected. And a lot of times I held things in, you know, when he would say, you know, you don't talk, you don't talk. But at this point, I felt talking, it was to no avail because it always fell on deaf ears or it was always disregarded. Like what I felt wasn't important, like what he felt superseded everything. And even if that was the case, I tried to soothe things over to help him understand certain things. And it's just like he just blocked me out. You know, he blocked me out and he had pretty much like what the impression I got is he pretty much had his mind already made up on whatever it was that we was arguing with about the time. So at the time, so again, defending myself, you know, it just became two people arguing and nobody's listening. You know, all right. So now I said, you know what? When I'm going through my healing process, I need an outlet. And I chose social media to be my outlet, whether it be Facebook or whether it be YouTube. You cannot disrespect me and cause me hell and then put a cap on the way I do me and the way that I heal and get myself back together. So he could feel any type of way that he want to feel about it. I don't have the capacity to even care anymore about what he feel about how I'm dealing with this breakup. And the 10 months was so heavy on me. I don't want it back. That's why I don't want the relationship back. Because if you could put me through that type of shit in 10 months, the new foundation is going to be toxic. The new foundation that we're setting now, because we're in the present, is going to be toxic. And our future is always going to be shaken and in jeopardy. It's going to be nothing solid. And that's not what I want for me. For over a decade now, I've always chosen him. I've chosen him. It's not my fault that he don't see it. I did everything that I thought I could do to help him to see it. I'm well past the part of the breakup where I'm blaming myself for his actions, which brings me to this point. Let me tell you something. I have 740 friends on Facebook. That's not even a lot. Those of you who are really like social media savvy, that you know how to network and do things like that, have way more than and building your brand and have built your brand, have way more than that. But I'm saying all that to say I have 740 friends on Facebook. At least 680 are people that I have known most of my life. And out of that 740, 680, the ones that I know, have known that I have waited for this man to come back into my life, have waited for him to re-enter into my life. That's why when I went live at the airport, when he touched down, that's why I got so much positive feedback. So many people knew that I was in love with this man. So many people knew that I was waiting for him to return. And they congratulated us and they was happy for me because they knew that that was like a moment that I had been waiting for a very long time. The unfortunate part about it is that he's the only one that don't know. And he's the only one that don't recognize it. And I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with that. But you don't get to tell me how to deal with that. I just know that I'll be okay no matter how it is I deal with it. And how I'm dealing with it is not trying to seek, validation. I don't even really feel like I need to address that. I think it's foolish of him to even think that way. I think that he's reaching for some type of response because that's what narcissistic people do. They search for supply. So he's trying to reach for some type of response. But I just know that we had 10 months to have a conversation. Everything that he is saying now, he had 10 months to tell me. He had 13 years to tell me. But then he had 10 months to tell me. And he or anyone that's affiliated with him doesn't necessarily have to agree with me how I'm going about doing that. I'm not looking for validation from anyone to do what the fuck I do. I'm just doing what the fuck I do. That's it. This honestly is what's helping me. And if this is what I got to do, then I'm going to do it. He needs to try to find something that's going to help him. But there won't be a reuniting again with us. Even though I'm hurt, I could say that out of my hurt because it's sincere. I could say that because for the first fucking time, I chose me. You don't even know what type of milestone that is. I don't think a lot of people understand that because you're a parent. I was a parent, a young parent. And from the minute I became a parent, I sacrificed a lot. I am not mad. I'm not bringing that up to try to throw it in nobody's face. That's not the point I'm going for. The point I'm going for is when you become a parent, when you assume responsibilities for other people's lives and livelihood, you then, or at least so I thought, because that's how I did it, you put yourself on a back burner of everything. These little babies, what they need come first and foremost, because not only were you the vessel that came through the womb, but now they are solely dependent on you to do the right thing, to help them grow and, become fully functional, spiritual, righteous beings. Okay, so you become a young parent, you going on the back burner. Okay. Well over 90% of the decisions that I made was on the strength of my family. Because I just felt like hands down, that's just what the fuck I gotta do. I'm a mother. Okay, that's what I want. But I can't do it right now because this is what they need. Even when it came to him. So once I decided that he was the one for me and I was in love, everything became about him. So now it's the two sons and him. and I'm putting all of their needs before my own wants. I'm putting their needs, I'm fusing some of them sometime because I'm saying if I can satisfy their needs, then I'll be satisfied, you know? Which brings me all the way to purchasing a house and getting, getting him a vehicle and stuff like that. It First of all, to the bitch that was in my inbox with that immature raggedy ass bullshit, right? I gotta touch on that too. I gotta touch on that just to say, bitch, I never had to buy no fucking man. And I can only hope, because I don't know what goes on in people's mind. I can only hope he don't think that dumb shit. I hope he don't think that I was trying to fucking buy him. I am a queen and I am unafraid to share my riches with those that I love. Hold on. Yeah, that's your brother. Okay, sorry. I'm not afraid to share whatever it is I got. And I'm not saying like I'm this filthy rich person, but you understand what I mean. I'm not afraid to share anything that I have with people that I love. You know what I'm saying? People that I love get a lot of me. They get a lot of my resources, whether it's monetary, whether it's financial. They get a lot of physical, a lot of my heart. That's just how I operate. I'm a Virgo. We are a lot of Virgos are we're lovers. We love who we love, and when we love you, come on. Thank you. Oh shit. We love who we love, and when we love who we love, we put our all into those people, and that's what I did, and I don't have no regrets about that, to be honest. But bitch or nigga or bitch ass nigga bitch, whatever the case is, whoever sent that shit to my DM, you all the way fucking played out the fuck for that. I don't gotta buy no motherfucking nigga. I was up and I made sure my nigga was up because at the time he was down. And I was trying to create a balance for him. I figured if I was able to help him with the basic necessities of life, that he would be able to align himself and get this right. You get your mind, your heart, your spirit, your body, you get all of that right. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. It turns out that I thought wrong, but that's okay because my intent wasn't to harm anyone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say is that it was a lot. That 10 months was a lot of realization, a lot of reality fucking hit me. A lot of this, oh, you think this shit was sweet? Not that I thought it was sweet. See, baby, what I thought was it would be me and him against whatever the fuck else. I'm like, yo, he got a thorough bitch. I'm gonna always make sure you're good. It's an exchange of energy. I felt like once he's good, then he gonna make sure I'm good. That's the type of time I was on. He wasn't on that type of time. He was only on making sure that he was good. That's it. I could go a little deeper than that, but that's for another time. That's for another time, another place, another space. So I come to the reality about a lot of things. We are Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury retrograde, for those of y'all who don't know, that means, for a lack of better word, but for layman's terms and understanding, the universe is PMSing. She's cramping. She's moody. You know what I'm saying? Because Saturn is rotating around a certain way, and she in her feelings about it. All right, that's what that means. And so during those times, emotions are very high, especially with very spiritual people. Emotions are high. There'll be a lot of revelations that come into play. And so you never have to, when you're a spiritual person, you never have to worry about the enemy being hidden for long. They'll always be revealed themselves. And a lot of time they reveal themselves because the enemy, they're very cocky, believe it or not. There's nothing humble about them. They can only play the role for a certain amount of time, and that's what I call divine intervention, because the time that they're playing the role, they think that they're fooling you, but they can't play that role for long. Not just because you can't fake it till you make it with everything, but because when the universe is protecting you and decides when, what, or who is going to be shown to you, because the universe ultimately has control anyway. No one can't stop that. No one can put a halt on it. No one can say, oh, that's just not me. You're going to show yourself. Whoever you really are, you're going to show yourself, you know. And that's how Mercury retrograde, excuse me, I keep twisting my tongue. That's how Mercury retrograde affects people. And so when I called him for closure, I wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do, but I said, you know what, Tania, stop second guessing yourself. Stop. Just go with it, and whatever happens, happens, because ultimately, um, it's not going to change anything, and it didn't. I just got a little more insight on the type of person that he really is, and it just solidifies that it's what we had is what we had, and and it's unfortunate that it will be no more. No, I'm not going back to that. Because even in his absence, as I grew and as I matured, I know who I am. I know what I deserve. See, when you ignore red flags, I'm like, yes, all the shit you accept be the shit that you regret. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But it's frustrating when people say, "Oh, you ignore the fucking red flags." We all ignore red flags. We all ignore, whether it's fucking red flags from your motherfucking kids, whether it's from your man, whether it's from somebody that you want to call a friend or a best friend or a family member. We all ignore red flags. You know what it's called? It's called giving people the benefit of the doubt. That's what it is. It's not that you literally say, "Well, you know what? Fuck that anyway." Well, maybe some people do, but red flags is, you know what, I see this in this person, but you know what, I'm gonna give them a chance because, like me with him, maybe he's still traumatized, maybe he's still going through some things. Maybe he needs a little more time. But and waiting for 10 months and waiting for 13 years, almost 14, honestly, because it was 10 months when he left. I don't want to keep waiting to feel love. I don't want to keep waiting to be supported. I don't want to keep waiting to get recognition. I don't want to keep waiting to be loved. Like, here's a story. Here's a story. I think I wasn't on Facebook for a while, and because we was doing some things, we was running around looking at houses. We was doing some things, recreating our structure. Recreating our foundation. And somebody called me on Facebook. And they was like, "Yeah, I'm just calling to see how you doing. You ain't posted on in a while. You good? Everything good?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's good," or whatever. So I'm letting them know what's going on. I'm like, "Yeah, we about to purchase, a house and shit like that." And this was so, I could smile at it now, but back then it wasn't funny. So they was like, "Oh shit, say word." Like, "Yeah, word. Oh, that's fucking dope. Yo, I'm so fucking proud of you. Yo, that shit is lit. Yo, that shit is lit. I know y'all gonna be good now. I know he happy and all this shit." And they celebrating, on the phone. And on the other end, I'm fucking crying. I'm crying. And it wasn't even tears of joy. I was crying because someone that was just calling to check in and see if I was good, just simply because I hadn't posted in a while, told me that they was proud of me and proud of us for what we was trying to accomplish. And it made me cry because he never told me that. Mr. G, I'm talking about now, he never told me that. I told him something one time. I was like, "Yo, all the time you was gone, you never had to worry or want for anything. And then your sons was always good. Did you ever sit down and say to yourself, yo, at least I ain't have to worry about him come traveling down this road I'm traveling, because you know what? She a good person. She raising my son right. He's good." It wasn't none of that. I got no appreciation. I felt no support. I got no support. I'm not even talking about financial support. I'm talking about emotional support. I didn't get that. I didn't get. I'm trying to hold my head. I don't feel like fucking crying. I don't feel like going through that shit today. I don't. And so I'm not. And so I'm going to try to steer clear of things that will make me go down that way. So what I'm going to say is this. I learned a lot about myself in that 13 years. I learned more of the type of woman that I was becoming and the woman that I am today. And as a woman, there was things that I needed from him that he could not give me. I don't know if he was choosing to be blind or if he was blind because of whatever the circumstances was or may be. But if I went through that shit in 10 months, I wasn't willing to go another lifetime that like that. I wasn't willing, and I don't have to, and I'm not. I'm not going to keep sacrificing. I'm not going to keep being a sacrificial lamb. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not for anybody, any fucking body. Because after I done poured into everybody cup and I'm down and the fuck out, the only place and the time and the only thing I could do is lay on my face and give myself to the universe and beg for her to fill me back up. He couldn't even fill me back up. He was too busy finding a reason to make me the enemy, finding a reason to war with me. I didn't have no fucking lock on my cell phone. I ain't have no lock on my cell phone. And I'm saying that to say is I ain't have nothing to fucking hide. Soon as he got his phone, he put a lock on his fucking phone. But I reasoned with myself and said, well, you know what? He don't really know much about, phones and all of that other shit. So maybe somebody told him, make sure you lock your phone. Make sure you lock. I don't really know why. I don't know why he going with it. Okay, well, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be. And anytime it was no lock on my fucking phone, he'd go through, he looking for shit. Now, let me ask you something. Why the fuck is somebody looking for shit? It's not just it's because some people say, oh, I see a ladybug on my window. Oh, be careful what you looking for because you gonna find it. We gonna go deeper than that. I didn't have no lock on my phone. And then when you came home, we managed to try to, and I'm saying we because I'm talking about me and my sons up in here, managed to give you a loving and safe space so you could thrive in your manhood. You could know and understood you was loved, and you can be transformed into another person and get back to being in society, get back into being into a loving home. What the fuck is you looking for? Right? This is my logic. You're looking. So whatever it is that you're looking for is a reason. And why would you be looking for a reason if you hadn't already thought of ways to leave? You wanted to leave. You wasn't man enough to come and tell me you wanted to leave. You could have told me that you wanted to leave. See, we was never promised that the weapons wouldn't form. We was only promised that they wouldn't prosper. All right. So all this time he's making decisions for me, manipulating the situation. He was never honest. And in the 10 months that he was home, he was so busy breaking me down and beating me down mentally, physically, emotionally, that he never stopped to learn the type of woman that I've become. The shell of who I become was enough to make him feel some type of way, to turn me into the enemy. But he never got to know who I was at the core. This is who I am now, the woman I am. He never got to know her because then he would understand that he didn't have to form the weapons. He didn't even have to form them. All he had to do was come to me as the man that he said he was and let me know what was going on, and we would have worked it out between us. Whichever way it would have went. That wasn't an option for me then. Expressing how I feel about anything was not an option for me, and particularly because it made him feel a certain way. Anything that made him feel negative or bad, he don't want to hear it. Now, here's the catch-22. I'm not saying you got to listen to anybody talk down on you. I wasn't talking down on him. I was just speaking my truth. If my truth bothers you, it's only two things that can happen. We wake up every day with a chance of a change. You got the opportunity to implement one of them two, and you didn't. You kept pounding me in, pounding me the fuck in. And I'm just not with it no more. I'm not no longer with it. I don't gotta be nobody fucking stepping stone. You're not gonna keep your foot on my motherfucking neck and have me out here crawling. Why? I don't deserve that for me, and I don't deserve that from him at all. And so people got all of these things that they want to say about me and Mr. G, the situation. You entitled to say what you want to say. You entitled to feel what you want to feel. But the truth is the truth. It don't change that. Regardless of however you feel about it. The nothing alters the truth. Nothing changes but the truth. And so now he's upset with me and it's okay. I'm okay with that. He could be upset. Even in my hurt. Because I'm not going back to that. The man that he has become is not the man for me. I was under the impression that he was another type of man. And the type of man I thought he was I thought he was an enhancement of who he was before. I thought it was just enhanced. I always sent him books to read all the time. So, I don't know. I thought he was building himself up to a degree. And that when he touched down, I would kind of like meet him halfway. I'm like, okay, you built yourself up to there. Now here, boom, you good. Now that's on top of the bill. Now we're gonna keep building and we're gonna keep elevating. But it just turns out our plans was different. You know what I'm saying? Our plans was different. Any type of way you with a man and that man needs to see you lower than him to feel like a man, that's not the type of man you need to be with. That's not the type of man I want to be with. I don't want to be with nobody like that. I want to be with a man that not just sees me as his equal, but someone that respects me and cherishes the relationship that we create, understands it, appreciates me. The same way I would do him. Like I said, it's an exchange of energy. But when you the only one that's trying to carry the relationship, well, how many straws you think it take to break the camel's back when you the only one carrying the majority of the load? And it's sad. You don't even know how many phone calls I get from people that's just like, yo, T, you spoke on this, you spoke on that. I'm kind of going through something like that, or my situation. And so we able to be there for each other. Which reminds me, let me tell you something. Springtime is coming, baby. And in the springtime, I'm gonna have a series of lunches and dinners and events for us women to be able to get together. So I appreciate it if you think about it and come and have a conversation with me. Come and have dinner with me. Come and have lunch with me and let's talk about it. It will be a small group of women. I don't want to say that it's gonna you know be this whole big uncomfortable thing. That's not it. I just want to build with some of our sisters. Maybe we can learn something from each other. The lineup is going to be great. I have a bunch of guest speakers that's willing to pop out. I have caterers that's popping out. I have vendors that's popping out. And when I say that, I mean the shit is going to be so dope. And first and foremost, before we get into networking and socializing, that's not even it. Untamed Sage started because that's exactly how I felt and feel in the process of my healing. I feel like untamed sage. Sage is something peaceful that you burn and it blesses the house and it calms the energy in the house. And sometimes, depending on the type of sage, it'll clear the energy out, or it'll bring a calm energy, or it'll bring a blessed energy, or a grateful. It's different type of sages you burn for different type of reasons. And going through this, I feel so untamed because usually in my calmness and what I know of myself and how I deal with things, I just feel so untamed with this hurt. That shit is like you know learning, yeah, and I'm growing. That shit, that shit, it did change me. I can't even it did change me. It did. I'm trying to make it I'm trying to make the change as positive as possible is what I'm doing. So Untamed Sage is going to host a series of, like I said, lunches and dinners. I always let you know the dates and the times, but and the location, but all of that comes with your ticket when you purchase your ticket. Now, I'm definitely gonna let y'all know more about each, let's say, session. Cause what it is we getting together so we could build, and we gonna have a good motherfucking time while we doing it. You hear what I'm telling you? And the tickets ain't gonna be no outrageous prices. However, you will enjoy yourself. You're gonna enjoy yourself. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. And for every time I have an event, there's always gonna be something different going on. So the vendors I have Miss E Collections. That's my girl G Baby. G Baby sells jewelry and she sells pocketbooks, and this is all, optional. It's not included in your ticket. It's optional, so bring a little extra change with you. But it's optional, because what I really want to do is get most of the women to feel together. Maybe we can have a little bit of time for ourselves, just to feel good in our little space and our little group, talk shit, chill, learn something from one another, network a little bit, eat, drink, and be merry, sip and chat, and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. I see the time is going by so fast, and I'm sorry that I kept y'all for this long. I got my other homegirl pulling through, named Lioness Den. Now, Lioness Den, right? She sells everything from sages to oils to bath things, and all of that type of stuff there. And I got Dabadreas pulling up. You know what I'm saying? For the catering. I got Miss Kitty's Kitchen pulling up. You know what I'm saying? For the catering. And I just guarantee a good ass time. I guarantee you. I got guest speakers. I got, therapists. I got nutritionists. Man, the list, I mean, is endless. And no, they will not all be there at one time. It's going to be different people for different sessions. I got massage therapists coming through just to try to help us learn different small techniques on how to relax. So it's going to be dope as fuck. I want y'all to consider it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm choosing the springtime because spring is the planting season for the summer bloom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm planting. I'm putting a plant in the soil in the springtime. Watch how this shit bloom after we all pull up. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much. I'ma do another live. I'm not too sure when, but I try to be as on point with this as possible. Not because it's a job, but because I need to vent. I don't want this shit to keep piling up in my system and then leak out and poison everybody else. I don't want to pull a Mr. Jeter. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to just get through this shit day by day, a time at a time. And so y'all help me with that. And I appreciate y'all help with that. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for everybody that pulled up in my DM and was just checking on me. And you got people that genuinely do that from time to time. And I know that these is people that really fucks with me. Because out of all the fucking things to do in this lifetime and all the shit that's going on in the world, they got time to hit me and be like, just checking on you. Are you good? That's it. That's it. And that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that you pull up right now, and hear me out. I want y'all to have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. Yo, it's Friday. It's Friday. Matter of fact, I probably do a live later on. How about that? It's Friday. We gonna chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do that later on. I'm gonna pull up love in the chat later on tonight. I don't know what it is that y'all gonna be doing, but have a little sip and chat with me before you start off on your weekend. Until then, peace, y'all.